Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. First and foremost, I would love to always give all glory and praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, Barakatha Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakah Kodash. Give double honors to our apostles of Great Millstone, our loving and caring spiritual teachers. Salutation to our sincere brothers pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, to feed the sincere brothers and sisters. And shalom to our sincere brothers and sisters, fearing, believing, and trusting in our Lord Yahawah and his Son Yahawashi. Amen. As you all know, as we all know, that there are two types of prophets. You have the false prophets, and you have the true, the real true prophets of today. So I'm going to name this video, True Prophets of Today Are Mocked. But back in the day, people did mock, they still mocked the prophets, but on a different level. Right? Because they saw miracles being performed. So in a way, they didn't step the mark. Yes? If they did, or else, right? So I'm going to bring out a couple of scriptures to prove in those days, right, that they did mock, but it wasn't a beautiful outcome, right? So the first one I want to get to is in 2 Chronicles. Right. 2 Chronicles chapter 36, verse 10 to 17. And it says here, "And when the year was expired, King Nebuchadnezzar, or Nebuchadnezzar, sent and brought him to Babylon with the goodly vessels of the house of the Lord Yahawah, and made Zedekiah his brother king over Judah and Jerusalem. Zedekiah was 120 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord our power, and humbled not himself before Jeremiah the prophet." Okay? So we're talking about the real, we are talking about the true prophets here, not the false ones. All right? Before Jeremiah the prophet, speaking from the mouth of the Lord our power. And he also rebelled against King Nebuchadnezzar, who had made him swear by Yahawah, but he stiffened his neck and hardened his heart from turning unto the Lord our power of Israel. Moreover, all the chief of the priests and the people transgressed very much after all the abominations of the heathen, and polluted the house of the Lord our power, which he had hallowed in Jerusalem. And the Lord our power of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes, and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. But they mocked the messengers. Right? That was back in the day. But they mocked the messengers of Yahweh and despised his words and misused his prophets. And that's what they're doing now today. They are misusing the prophets of today, the genuine, sincere, real prophets of today. But they mocked the messengers of Yahweh and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord our power arose against his people, till there was no remedy. Therefore he brought upon them, therefore he brought upon them the king of the Chaldees, who slew their young men with the sword in the house of their sanctuary, and had no compassion upon young men or maiden, old man, or him that stooped for age. He gave them all into his hand. You could read further down, what the Lord did, right? Because they mocked the messengers, right? They mocked the prophets. All right? So these days, our prophets right now, today, they are doing miracles, but on a very low level, right? And back in the day, everything was performed. You could see things that the prophets would do. And I tell you, there's a scripture, I can't remember, right, off the top of my head. I was trying to look for it earlier. But in those days, when the prophets used to walk into the city and people heard that they were coming, people used to fear the prophets in those days, right? Because you don't play around with the prophets. When it comes to the men of the Lord, you do not play around with them, right? As we say in the Caribbean, you don't ramp, right? And when we say ramp, we mean play, all right? It's a little saying we used to have. Why you ramp too much, Pickney? You ramp too much. We mean play, right? So back in those days, they never ramp with the prophets. They didn't play with the prophets, yeah? Because they used to fear when they used to come in. I had that written down somewhere, but I marked it up somewhere a couple of years ago, but I can't remember where it is. I was trying to look for it, yeah? So, but these days now, people are mocking the prophets right now, week in and week out. I've seen it for myself. All right? Even when the police come to the camps telling you to order to move, or they're mocking because they don't know who they're dealing with. All right? They do not know who they're dealing with. So when you tell the prophets to move, you're telling them to shut up. You're closing their mouth. Do not play with the Lord. Do not mock the prophets. All right? But let me tell you what happened to those people that used to mock. Right? I'm going to bring out a couple of more scriptures. Where am I going now, brothers and sisters? Where am I going now? So I read to 17. So let me go to Kings now. Did I say, is it First Kings or Second Kings? I think I need to go to Second Kings, Hold on. Is it Second Kings? Let me go to Second Kings. I think it's Second Kings. Second Kings 2, verse 23 to... Yes, this is the one, yeah? So it's 2 Kings chapter 2, 23 to 24. All right? So, and this is Elisha, right? The prophet Elisha. So the waters were healed unto this day, according to the saying of Elisha, which he spake. And he went up from thence unto Bethel. And as he was going up by the way, there came 4 children, little children, out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head. Go up, thou bald head. Right? So they're mocking the prophets. Right? So he said, right? He said, what the backside? You know who you're dealing with here? Yeah? Do you know who you're dealing with? And look what he did there. And he turned back and looked on them and cursed them in the name of the Lord Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, and tear 40 and 2 children of them. Yes? Right? And he kept on going, and he went from thence to Mount Carmel, and from thence he returned to Samaria, right? So you see what I'm saying? In those days, they don't joke around in those days. But listen, the thing is, right, in those days, you used to see miracles being performed, right? These days, brothers, would put a curse on people because, we don't see things happening straight away. But you never know when the people come up to the camps and mock the prophets and they go about their ways. Yeah. You don't know what happened to them. Yeah. You don't know. There is a spot, right, before the brothers left Oxford Street. Yes. The camp. And I tell you something, I could count in my hand about 10 times on my fingers, 10 times, even more, where people used to come and they used to throw cigarettes, they used to throw money, right? Some people used to fall on the floor, trip over, right? Face first. Brothers could remember that. Right in front of us. All right? The amount of times people used to come and mock. Oh man, that place, man, that spot there, right there by the train station, the exit of Oxford Circus, right? Because we used to go out there with the prophets. Well, I used to go there and learn from the brothers, but the prophets, they used to the brothers on the highways and the byways, the prophets, they used to be there week in and week out, and the things that we used to see, right? People scoffing and mocking. But you know what? The Lord had them marked because you don't know what happened to them when they left. All right? But that time's going to come back again. It's coming back where brothers are going to heal people. Yes? Brothers are going to be performing miracles. Right? You're going to be seeing superpowers. It's going to be when the Most High increases. Yeah, where's that word again? When he lifts up a standard. Yeah, then that is it, right? Fun and games are finished. Fun and games are going to finish. You know what I'm saying? So you just wait. Wait until the prophets are going to rise up again. But they're doing miracles now on a low level. From our elders, apostles, come right down to the brothers. They're doing things. Yeah? Okay, so I just wanted to bring that, how they mocked. Right? And on the spot, he just turned around. Elisha spun around and just cursed them. And look what happened to them. Yeah? Okay. So that was in Kings, right? So let me go back to Elisha now, right? So I was going further on now. So like 2 Kings. Let me go 2 Kings again. Yeah. 2 Kings chapter 13. Verse 20. Right. Now listen to this, right? Now, this is so amazing because you see the men of the Lord, man, people do not know who they're dealing with, yeah? Now, look at this now. Back to Elisha, right? Elisha, so like if I pronounced it wrong, yeah? And I read this. And Elisha died. This is when he died, okay? And Elisha died and they buried him. And the bands of the Moabites invaded the land at the coming in the end of the year. And it came to pass as they were burying a man that, behold, they spied a band of men, and they cast the man into this sepulchre of Elisha. And when the man was let down and touched the bones of Elisha, he revived and stood up on his feet. Damn, that is heavy stuff, you know. You wait until the Most High start to hit the miracles again, them spiritual powers, divine intervention. Listen, Lord willing, I cannot wait to see miracles happening, you know. You hear what I'm just saying? I cannot wait to see miracles happening, spiritual powers. I want to see these prophets performing these things live and direct, like back in the day. Man, that is heavy. You hear what I'm saying? The man's bones touched the dead man, and he revived the man from the dead. Come on, man. That would bug you out if you saw that now. Yeah? That's why this is all spiritual. You cannot come the last minute, want to serve the Lord at the last minute. It will bug you out. You cannot come say, oh, I want to serve the Lord now. I start to see things go down now. This world is coming to an end now, and I've seen things going. You can't come in the last minute like that and expect that when you see miracles like that, it's going to bug you out. It's going to frighten you. That's why this is a spiritual walk. This is a spiritual walk. Right? Because everything is based on faith. So you're actually seeing things that you don't see, if you understand what I'm saying. That is faith. You see these things coming, these things happening. But you know what? In that day, Lord willing, the brothers are going to be laughing because nothing's going to be touching them. At their right side, their left side, nothing's going to touch them. So the last one I'm going to get now is in, but the thing is, right, you see how this is deep again. This is people mocking the prophets. But you know what? Because the Lord sees everything. The prophets, the real prophets, the genuine real prophets can mock, you know. They can mock. But the false prophets cannot mock the real prophets. All right? Remember that. There's a difference. You have true prophets, you have false prophets. But the true prophets can mock the false, but the false can't mock the true. Right, let me get that one, the last one here. Back in Kings again. First Kings this time, innit? First Kings. Chapter 18. Chapter 18. 25. And it says here, and Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you one bullock for yourselves and dress it first, For ye are many, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it and called on the name of Baal from morning, evening unto noon, saying, "Oh, Baal, hear us." But there was no voice, Eurasia, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them. You see, he could mock the false prophets. Right? Serving other false gods. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, "Cry aloud, for he is a god. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleepeth and must be awaked." Right? Right? And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancets till the blood gushed out upon them. You see that? Right? You could read further down, but because of time, I don't want to take it too long, but that is a good one to read. From there, come down to about, let me see where it ends. It's quite long there, to about 46, if you can read it, yeah? But you see what I'm saying? Elijah mocked the false prophets. You see? But you know what? You wait. You wait. You're going to see for yourself, right? Lord willing, that you're going to see miracles being performed. Who's ever come up to the camps? Who's ever come up on the apostles' channel? Yes, and mocked, right? And the brothers' channels are mocked, right? Thumbs down. Coming across the men of the Lord, trying to think they know anything. Listen, table's going to turn. All right. So that is what I wanted to bring out. Right? True prophets of today are mocked. But you watch soon, it's going to change. Yeah. So whoever's listened to this that is very unsure about the Lord, right? Everything's of the Most High anyway that puts a spirit in you to believe in him. But whoever is brave enough to come and mock the prophets of today, right? Just expect something to happen to you, right? Bless you, brothers, right? That goes out on the highways and the byways, our elders and apostles, brothers on the highways and the byways, preaching this truth, teaching me, all right? Thawada. Okay, shalom.